Alright. Personnel. Welkin. Age 22, Lieutenant, son of the late EW1 hero General Belgen Gunther and leader of Squad 7. While attending university, his focus lay in animal sociology. In secondary military education, he chose tank operation. At university, officer training. In addition, he earned credentials as tank commander. A lover of nature since childhood, his free time was spent observing animal and plant life near his home. He is credited with discovering 6 new insect species. He is peaceful by nature. He will not, however, hesitate to defend the ones he loves, such as his Darkson sister, who often faces harsh discrimination. Over the course of the war, he has grown increasingly aware of his feelings for Alicia, whose friendship has become an important part of his life. Sergeant, age 19, Squad 7 Scout. While a team captain in the Brule Town Watch, she also worked as a live-in apprentice at the local bakery. In light of her experience both from the Town Watch and her military education, she was appointed as a non-commissioned officer posted to Squad 7. A country girl, she saw no shortage of physical exercise in her youth, building a physique with exceptional resiliency to injury that's the envy of her squad. Born of unknown parentage and raised in an orphanage, she was unaware of her own heritage until a bullet wound at Magyar woke the Valkyrian blood within her. Unable to accept her nature, she planned to sacrifice herself in order to destroy the Marmota, but was dissuaded by Welkin's heartfelt admission of love. Isara Gunther, Corporal, age 16, Squad 7 tank pilot. Daughter of the late Darkson engineer, Professor Thamer, she was adopted into the Gunther family as Welkin's sister. Taking to engineering in her father's footsteps, she elected a mechanic's path in secondary military education, earning several credentials before enlisting. The constant prejudice she faced since childhood due to her Darkson blood has fostered not bitterness, but respect for the brother who always stood up for her. A natural tinkerer, her hobbies include collecting tools. The wrench set Welkin sent to celebrate her entrance to high school remains particularly dear to her. Though the operation cost her life, Squad 7 survivors report Isara's actions up to and following the Mayberry mission as a powerful boost to squad solidarity. Faldio Lanzet, Lieutenant, age 23, Tank Commander and leader of Squad 1. An archaeology student at the same university as Welkin, his knowledge of history is considerable. His secondary and university military education earned him an officer's rank and credentials as a tank commander. He is also trained as a staff officer. Born a Rand Greaser, he personified blithe calm and gregarious warmth. In Welkin's word, every girl on campus knew him by name and by reputation. His strong opinions concerning fashion led him to submit a redesign idea for the Gallian militia uniforms. It was rejected for being impossibly florid. In a selfless effort to end the war and redeem his tarnished name, Faldio joined Imperial Commander Maximilian in death aboard the exploding Marmota. Eleanor Virat, 3rd Regiment Captain and direct superior to Welkin. She is one of the most feared yet respected officers in the Gallian military. Age 35, unmarried. Drafted during EW1, she joined Gallia's militia as a sniper, electing to remain in the military after the war's end. Her work ethic quickly saw her promoted. An avid reader, her private quarters are a sea of books ranging from economic treatises to children's literature. One local bookshop owes her its livelihood. During EW1, she and Largo were posted to the same squad. They were both decorated after one operation saw them defeat 5 enemy tanks on their own. A lust for revenge for her slain love, Frederick, drove her to remain in the militia until, moved by Largo's word, she was able to lay her past to rest. Largo Potter, Sergeant, age 36, Squad 7 Lancer. Since his initial conscription during EW1, he has survived countless missions, making him the most experienced of the Sevens. Believing that frontline experience is everything, he has constantly rejected all officers' promotion and continued his career as a foot soldier. Reprimanded for the unlicensed planting of vegetables on army property, though the fruit of his labor earned accolades from foodies across the base. He enlisted at the same time as Eleanor Virat, and the two were posted to the same squad. Their vastly divergent views soon had them engaging in epic quarrels. Largo's heartfelt promise to stand by Virat and protect her for all time was enough to thaw her frozen heart, warped by 2 decades spent seeking vengeance. Bridget Stark. Corporal, age 27. Squad 7 shock trooper. Formerly a bartender and songstress, she still bears the nickname Rosie given to her by the bar-going regulars. Despite her education, and with it her military training, ending at middle school level, experience with her town watch earned her the rank of corporal. Her hobbies include cards, which she picked up while working at her bar job. She often played Faldio, winning 10 games to his 5. After losing her family in an Imperial Darkson hunt that hit her village as a child, she grew up blaming the Darksons, and hated them well into adulthood. Through her interaction with, and sudden separation from, Isara, Rosie was able to move beyond her prejudice and understand the true importance music held to her. Zaka. Sergeant, age 33. He joined Squad 7 as a tank commander in charge of the Shamrock following the militia's liberation of Fosen. Born the son of a poor family of Darkson laborers, he worked in a Fosen factory from a young age, picking up a broad knowledge of machines and weaponry. Accustomed to closing one eye to aid in making fine observations at his factory job, he often squints his right eye out of habit despite his 20/20 vision. Despite his often grim countenance, Zaka has a kind, gentle heart. Much of his free time in the labor camps was spent entertaining the children. After the war's end, he dedicated his life to assisting Darksons displaced by hunts. In particular, he worked to aid war orphans while still in the militia. Kreese Zerny. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Private First Class, age 20. A mechanic working in the militia's R&D facility, his primary responsibilities included weapon maintenance and repairs. Called to enlist while working a factory job in his hometown after middle school, he was initially so homesick he reports once attempting to go AWOL to return. The owner of a legendary sweet tooth, he adds 3 heaping tablespoons of sugar to his hot milk. I can't really say anything about that. Co-workers say he keeps chocolate hidden on him at all times. After Asara's death, he requested to be posted to Squad 7 where, newly appointed to the rank of corporal, he followed in her footsteps as the Edelweiss's pilot. After receiving the late Asara's tools from Wilken when he joined the squad, Kreese has doubled his efforts to become a skilled engineer in her image. Leon Schmidt. Private First Class, age 20. A member of the militia's R&D team, his chief task lay in the development of new weapons. Despite entering a secondary tech school with promising grades, his freewheeling nature soon prompted him to withdraw and wander Gallia until the war broke out. His insistence on testing everything he developed resulted in quality work and one instance of him accidentally driving a tank full bore into a civilian home. Entrusted with outfitting the Shamrock, Leon soon converted Zaka's tank into a reflection of his own personality, quick and flighty as a bird. Through his work on various vehicles, he gradually became interested in driving, and often tried his hand at the wheel of anything he could find in the hangar. Hans. Male Porcavian, age 1. A special member of Squad 7 following a chance meeting in the Cloden Wildwood. His rank is Private 3rd Class, according to Alicia. Though small for a Porcavian, he boasts impressive agility and jumping ability. He also appears to be intelligent enough to understand human words and emotions. Perhaps in an effort to mimic the other members of Squad 7, he trained himself through running and wrestling with Largo in between combat operations. Most at home nestled in a snug space, he often attempted to burrow his way into Isara's shawl or Alicia's scarf, much to the lady's displeasure. Though Porcavians are widely thought to be incapable of flight, more than one witness has claimed to have seen Hans fluttering about in the late-night sky. Cordelia G. Randgries, current heiress to the Randgries line of archdukes who rule the nation. At the age of 16, she stands as figurehead of Gallia and scion of the Valkyria. The death of her parents, the former Archduke and Duchess of Gallia, left her heiress to the throne, though her young age has precluded her coronation as yet. Reported to be a bright and cheery girl while her parents lived, the appointment of Maurits von Borg as her regent marked an end to all outward shows of emotion. An accomplished ballerina, trained since early childhood, her skill is said to be enough to bewitch the audience, though opportunities to witness it are rare. Reminded of her pride and duty as ruler through her interactions with Welkin, she elected to turn and face her people with selfless candor and sincerity. Borg. Marquise, head of House Borg, and Prime Minister of Gallia. Age 68. He currently acts as regent to the young Princess Cordelia, handling affairs in her stead. As heir to a noble house with roots back to medieval times, Borg long played an active role in politics, often clashing with the Archduke's progressive views. Upon the Archduke's demise, he led the aristocracy in a takeover, becoming Prime Minister. His policies since have benefited the nobility exclusively. The unusual curls he sports are said to denote House Borg's master, with their size representing his grandeur. He keeps a team of 5 stylists on retainer. As part of a plot for control of Gallia, Borg served as a spy for the Empire. As the wages for his treachery, Imperial Commander Maximilian had Borg executed. George von Damon, General, age 54. Born into a family with a long history of military service, he now commands the Central Gallian Force, including the militia. He rose to his post as commander thanks to Borg's recommendation. Exceptionally proud of his noble birth, he considers the commoner militiamen disposable. Though the success of his grandfather as a general helped him rise through the ranks with uncommon speed, rumors abound that he lacks the requisite competence. Valdio was among the chain of up-and-coming officers Damon brought home as potential suitors for his daughter, but was soon rejected for his low birth. Shortly after the fall of the Citadel at Gerlandio, Damon fell victim to the massive explosion caused by Imperial General Salvaria Bless. Martha Lipponen, age 38. Nanny to the Gunther family like her mother before her, she helped raise Welkin and Isara since birth, as well as 5 of her own children. A presence in the Gunther house since she herself was a child, Martha became a surrogate parent and source of assurance to the orphaned Welkin and Isara. After evacuating Brule, she moved to the capital with her family. Concern for Welkin and Isara eventually drove her to take up work at the militia mess hall. Martha's baby. Martha's son, born in the Edelweiss on the day Brule fell to the Empire. He is Martha's 5th child, and still does not have a name. When asked to be the child's godfather, Welkin offered wishes that he grow as tall and strong as a Gallian willow, naming the child after the genus Salix. Oh, I guess his name is Salix. Martha's husband, a landscaper, planted a Gallian willow in Brule to commemorate their son's birth. Both tree and child are now growing by leaps and bounds. Drill instructor. Sergeant, age 48. chief drill instructor at the militia training grounds, his stern countenance and harsh words haunt the dream of soldiers near and far. During EW1, he fought on the front line as a daredevil lancer. His impressive record won him recognition and the role of instructor for new recruits. Though his quick temper and blunt nature have earned him the nickname Ramrod, his full name is Calvero Rodriguez. Aged gentleman, age 52. A frequent visitor to the graves of his fallen EW1 comrades, this doleful gentleman has begun passing his learned orders down to Welkin. He bears a striking similarity to Roland Kankunen, commander of Gallia's armored corps during EW1. Before his departure from the army, he was lauded as a hero. Rumor has it Kankunen witnessed Belgian Gunther's uncanny leadership and stepped down as armored corps commander, giving the young squad leader his post. Belgian Gunther, Welkin's late father, widely regarded as a great hero for his contribution to preserving Gallia's independence during the First European War. His friendship with the Professor Thymer was supposedly so close that even the typically taciturn Gunther talked up a storm when the two were together. He left the military to return to Brühl after the war. There, he lived out his days surrounded by family and nature until disease quietly claimed his life. Thamer, Isara's biological father and a gifted Darkson inventor who contributed much to furthering Gallian technology. He built the Edelweiss for his friend after EW1. Though the owner of an uncommon talent and author of several brilliant theses, his Darkson heritage prevented him from working at the major industrial firms. He continued to innovate after the war's end until a sudden accident claimed his life, leaving his infant daughter, Isara, behind him. Frederick Klein, Gallian militiaman and lover to Eleanor Varrot. He fell prisoner to the Empire during EW1 and was killed under torture administered by Imperial Georgius Geld. As a perpetually calm intellectual type, he offered support and restraint to his hot-headed childhood friend Largo. A lover of animals, he hoped to become a veterinarian. Talk about the pet cat he had left behind led Frederick and Varrot to ultimately become friends and lovers. Isara Gunther, daughter of Welkin and Alicia, named for Welkin's late sister. Slight spoilers for Epilogue, I guess. Every bit Welkin's daughter, she's loved nature since birth. She once gave Alicia a rare grass centipede as a present. The gift literally bowled her mother over. Always quick to mimic her mother, Isara is almost always seen in the matching uniform Alicia made her, doing her best to help out at the bakery. Alex Raymond, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17. His leap-before-you-look rashness and flighty, carefree nature have earned him the name Bird among his friends in the squad. A fan of any spot with a clear view, he was known for dropping everything to climb tall trees he came across. Lyce's tale of the sky always captivated him. He set out together with his new friends to find the life in the sky he dreamed of since he was a young boy. His parting words were, "I'm off to be a real bird." Kevin Abbott, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 25. Skittish and introverted, he found interactions with others difficult. He seemed rather uncomfortable with his role as shock trooper. Though he'd intended to enlist as an engineer or sniper, his inability to choose between them eventually saw him assigned to trooper work by default. He took up martial arts to combat his introverted tendencies and ultimately became Kevin the Abattoir Abbott, every kid in Gallia's favorite pro wrestler. Kobe Caird, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 65. A foreman for a carpentry company before he joined the militia, his bad back is the result of an injury suffered during EW1. That is a terrible trait. It means anytime you crouch, he's going to have stat drops. Which, is not great. Alicia bears a strong resemblance to the daughter he lost in EW1. Seeing her is a constant reminder of his loss, leading to him keeping his distance. After leaving Squad 7, he began a school to train young carpenters. Years later, surrounded by his large family and many students, he ended his life in peace. Linus Milton, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 24. Handsome and smooth, he was always popular with the ladies. A bit of a Lothario, he's made many a beautiful woman cry. A major tank aficionado, he enlisted for a chance to see one up close. He's been spotted more than once in the R&D hangar past midnight stroking the tanks. His love of tanks kept him in the force after the war. Though that meant more time spent around tanks than ever, his time around the ladies suffered horribly. Hans Salinger, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 31. Born in a richly wooded part of southern Gallia, he enlisted immediately upon hearing his hometown was in the path of danger. Having grown up self-sufficient, he is strong in both body and spirit. Unused to wearing hot, heavy gear, he prefers to walk around barefoot and shirtless. After saving the daughter of a well-off merchant from ruffians, he took on work as the family's butler. His inability to fix tea properly keeps him up at night. Mika Hawkins, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 26. A warrior and a perfectionist, he lets even minor details get to him, making him tiresome company but a skilled machinist. His excessive, almost obsessive fussing over the machines he worked on led to malfunction more often than not, getting him fired from more than one position. I Think I Can't, a self-published memoir of his failings, was a big hit despite its gloomy, navel-gazing nature, and sales continue to rise. Weiss Engelbard, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17. Together with Ica, he roams the globe seeking adventure. Rumor has it he hails from a nation far removed from Europa's shores. Bleak circumstances only excite him all the more, and luckily he has an iron will to see him through. Once he starts talking about the sky, he doesn't stop. He left the militia for parts unknown on a new adventure. No galleon has seen him ever since he boarded a ship at a sleepy quay, shrouded in morning fog. He's actually a great unit, but he doesn't get ultimate damage, so once you have level 20 shock troopers and Alex and Haynes can take over the reins, there's no reason to use him. Normally, though, you can have him charge into a group of like 30 enemies and have him go up in attack power. Lynn, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 20. A Darkson, she was hiding in fear of Imperial hunters until news that her lover, Carl, was in danger. This drove her to enlist. Though unaccustomed to firearms, Carl's instruction paired with her Darkson work ethic saw her skill grow in leaps and bounds within a short period of time. After the war, she returned to Fosen as Carl's bride. When seeking playmates for her children, she made a point of making friends with her non-Darkson neighbors. Yeah. You have to make sure that Carl gets knocked out during a fight, and then you can have Lynn as a recruit. Wendy Cheslock, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 25. Tinkering with explosives filled this shut-in's days until an overly ambitious portion of gunpowder blew her house to bits. She applied to be a trooper on the front lines as a way of testing out her bombs. Her squad mates whisper that she keeps a miniature bomb under her cap. Post-EW2, she took work at the Galleon National Arsenal developing explosives. Her designs, while potent, have all been too unstable for a sane soldier to use. She's pretty good until you get the shut-in trait. At which point, if she's in a camp / base or whatever, someplace you would, want a shock trooper to defend, her stats go down. Dee Nelson, Squad 7 shock trooper, age 17. As a self-proclaimed actress growing up in a tiny rural town, she was quite the starlet. Though proud, she lacked coping skills. Unable to forgive anyone who draws the public's eye away from her, she feels a strong, and one-sided, sense of rivalry against Rosie, the squad's top trooper. Upon hearing of Rosie's success singing, she tried to become an even bigger star, only to find she was tone deaf. She is now training to become a real actress. Aisha Newman. Squad 7 Shock Trooper, age 12. Wait, what? Huh. She earned secondary military training credit at a record age and was permitted to enlist after expressing a strong will to fight. She paired the fathomless curiosity and energy stores of a child with impressive physical agility and intelligence. Back home, people called her Girl Genius. Over the course of the war, she grew to feel a strong admiration for Captain Virat and began reading up on the art of war in order to follow her example. Jane Turner. Great shock trooper. Doesn't have ultimate damage, though. Squad 7 Shock Trooper, age 27. She might have ultimate damage, I don't know. I can't check. Training ground won't let me. A florist in Brule until the Imperial invasion destroyed her shop. Ever since, she has fostered a deep hatred for the Empire. Any hesitation she may have felt on the battlefield soon gave way to feelings of pleasure at defeating Imperials. She began to take the front lines by choice. She stayed on after the war to train new recruits with the drill instructor. Even stricter than he, soldiers now whisper the name Sadistic Jane with reverence. Her hidden potential is sadist. So, attack power goes up when shooting people in the face. Which, is when you want attack power to go up. Dorothy Howard, Squad 7 Shock Trooper, age 18. Her family ran an ironworks factory in Fosen. She dreams of designing accessories made of precious metals. Prone to extreme stage fright, her face goes scarlet when forced to speak to others. Her frail constitution is yet more proof of her sheltered upbringing. Following her dream, she began a jewelry company. To avoid the need to speak to others directly, her business works on a custom-made, mail-order-only basis. Absolutely terrible shock trooper. Attack down when attacking groups. And, yeah, I'm not even gonna go into it. Nina Streese, Squad 7 Shock Trooper, age 29. Her belief that a sound body saves lives motivates her to train her physique daily. In 9 years, she hasn't missed a day's workout. The heavy armor covering tanks and blast suits worn by Lancers run counter to her philosophy of fighting with one's body alone, earning them both her disdain. After EW2, she left on a journey cone workout where she met the man of her dreams and married. Despite dwarfing her spouse, she continues to lift daily. Good shock trooper. Mossad Mayfield, Squad 7 Scout, age 43. He enlisted upon hearing news of fellow Brule Welkin's successes. You have to actually beat the game in order to recruit him. Haughty by nature, his words and actions often reflect his hubris. To some extent, his pride is merited. In EW1, his skills at trench warfare earned him the title of Hero among Galleons and That Damned Mole among his enemies. Leaving only the observation, "My place has only ever been on the field of war," he disappeared from Gallia. His current whereabouts are unknown. Hermes Kissinger, Squad 7 Scout, age 25. As a child of the open field, he dislikes cramped spaces. Slender and handsome, he is physically unable to not chat up near any nearby ladies. Prone to exhaustion, he lacks endurance. Not a good trait for a scout. Though he has no trouble finding dates, he is often too tired to stay out long, leading the ladies to think him a flake. He began work as an action star, but one broken leg later, all offers for roles have ceased coming in. Presently, he is training up his endurance under Nina. Melville Young, Squad 7 Scout, age 19. Full of more pep than even he knew what to do with, he enlisted. Friendly and upbeat, he is quick to befriend pretty much anyone. A lover of all types of meat, Porcavians hold a particular fascination for him. A close friend of Ted's, the two often practice their clown routines together. Together with his friends, he began work as a professional clown. His naturally goofy persona, trademark hairstyle, predictably wins laughs from all ages. Ted Ustinov, Squad 7 Scout, age 16. His greatest love was always making others laugh, and his clowning persisted after enlistment. He is highly allergic to most metals. He dreams of becoming a full-time clown once the war ends. Despite countless attempts, he has yet to make Marina laugh even once. After the war, he invited a group of his close friends to form a comedy troupe, the Dancing Bears. Their antics helped put the smiles back on Galleon's faces. Wavy, no last name. Squad 7 Scout, age 35. Considerate and polite to a fault, this Darkson school teacher rarely displays his emotions. Known for his devotion to his wife, he enlisted to protect her and his infant daughter. Though a placid man, he fights ferociously to protect his loved ones. With wife and daughter in tow, he moved to a remote part of Gallia and founded a school for underprivileged children. Montley Leonard, Squad 7 Scout, age 16. As a child of the Great Plains, he grew up around animals. One encounter with a longhorn stag left him deathly afraid of pointed objects. Fully embracing the creed that time is money, he is incapable of sitting still. He is bulked up fast as a result of all the laps he has run around the base. Hired as a deliveryman due to his fleet feet, his employers didn't realize just how fast he is. All the downtime tempts him to run off, often making him late. Noyce Wordsworth, Squad 7 Scout, age 19. Like Alicia, he worked as a team captain in the Brule Town Watch. His hobbies include writing and performing songs. His open interest in Alicia makes him dislike Welkin quite a bit. His plan is to win her over with a series of ballads he wrote in praise of her beauty. Just as he finished the last song in his Alicia compilation, he heard of her marriage to Welkin. Returning home, he became head of the Brule Town Watch. Nancy Dufour, Squad 7 Scout, age 15. Her life on the family farm led her to grow up rather sheltered. She often enjoyed holing up in the stables with the animals. She makes tripping over her own 2 feet look easy. On the farm, she once dropped a basket containing 100 fresh eggs. Her father nearly exploded. A pioneer in the raising of long-haired mules, she had orders for their warm, soft wool pouring in until she left the pen gate unlocked and they wandered off. She has clumsy. I'm gonna leave it at that. Ramona Linton, Squad 7 Scout, age 18. Formerly a model for the popular Galleon Girl magazine, she lives her life devoted to fashion. A sucker for anything trendy, she often snuck out of her room at night to visit the heart of the city, though low blood pressure made the mornings after rough. She became the top model for a globally renowned designer, appearing in several important fashion shows. Lately, she's begun work on her own line of designs. Susie Evans. She's a good scout until you get the hidden potential unlocked. Squad 7 Scout, age 19. As the daughter of a frontier tycoon, she knew precious little of the ways of the world, once naively paying 25 DCT for a single apple. Though a pacifist normally incapable of killing a fly, her family's honor forced her to enlist. Fundamentally opposed to war, she finds killing loathsome. Despite heavy opposition from within her family, she used personal funds to build a shelter for those injured in the war, where she continues to work today. Freesia York, Squad 7 Scout, age 18. Called Dancer of the Sands, she roamed the desert as an entertainer until the Empire's attack killed business, driving her to enlist. Having lost her parents at an early age, she grew up footloose and fancy-free. As a result, she is unused to other people counting on her, which she finds taxing. When a wealthy merchant offered to marry her, she replied that she would never be tied down to any man. She has continued life as a traveling dancer ever since. Juno Corin, Squad 7 Scout, age 22. A classmate of Welkin's at university, she possesses both brains and beauty in spades, making her the object of many a boy's desires. Her feelings for Welkin once overflowed into a heartfelt letter, but her pride has kept her from ever delivering it. Juno returned to school to continue her studies in microbiology. She eventually discovered a microbe with medical uses, naming it after a certain EW2 hero. Cherry Stigen, Squad 7 Scout, age 16. Trends and pretty boys form the center of her world, with Galleon Girl Weekly her preferred fix for top-notch photos of both. Her enlistment was motivated by a strong attraction to the big city. There she found Rosie, whose freewheeling attitude and city girl cool inspired her. She returned home where, at only 17, she married and gave birth to a child. She divorced soon after and now spends her days devoted to raising her daughter. Ika Thompson, Squad 7 Scout, age 17. Childhood friend and co-conspirator with Vice, she came with him from a far-off land, half for adventure and half to keep him in line. Adversity only makes her stronger as she turns any problem around to resolution. The only two things that can stop this vibrant girl are ghosts and roaches. She left Gallia for places unknown on a new adventure for untold treasures, with the new comrade she found in Squad 7 there at her side. Squad 7 Lancer, age 27. Jan Walker. Muscles send him to the moon, whether they be his own or those of the other gents on the squad. His little sneezes are just adorable. A mother hen by nature, he worked as a babysitter before enlisting. Since then, he's busied himself preparing meals and baking treats for his crush Largo. Trading a blast suit for an apron, Jan founded a kindergarten in his hometown where he devoted his life to the local kids as their beloved Uncle Jay. Nils Deirden, Squad 7 Lancer, age 29. A denizen of the capital city's seedy underbelly, his was a solitary life. He remained undefeated through countless turf wars. Burly, rugged, and stoic, he's had more than a few ladies approach him, but none have yet managed to sway him from his lone wolf ways. A long chain of turf battles ultimately saw him reigning at the peak of Gallia's underworld, enforcing his own code of honor in concert with the government. The Old Bior, Squad 7 Lancer, age 18. An impoverished childhood has driven home the importance of wealth for him, driving him to seek fame and fortune as a war hero. Born in an isolated village, he bears a strong hatred for darks and heretics. Weak to the strong, but strong to the weak, he enjoys tormenting Kevin. Meeting a woman of truly noble character and experiencing real love for the first time profoundly changed him, as few who knew him before would believe possible. Walter Nash, Squad 7 Lancer, age 33. Contrary to his gruff looks, his hobbies include cooking and tending his garden. He often joins Alicia in baking bread on his days off. Prone to wild mood swings, his self-confidence can come and go at a moment's notice. Because cooking helps calm him, he hopes to open a restaurant one day. After opening his dream restaurant back home, he was shocked to find that his grisly countenance kept the customers at bay. He still isn't quite over it yet. Hector Calvary. Calve. Squad 7 Lancer, age 25. The former head of a local watch in his home village, he showed a natural leadership that won the respect of all his soldiers. People still speak of the time he routed an imperial team with only a handful of soldiers by his side. He dreamed of starting a shipping company someday. He began Gallia's first major shipping company, which rose to the top name in deliveries, a success rumored to come from his popularity among housewives. Audrey Heitinga, Squad 7 Lancer, age 17. After hearing of Wilkins' exploits, she traveled to the capital with stars in her eyes. She has a tendency to get swept up in trends. She has a knack for making friends with others and being prepared for anything. Few know her svelte form is capable of crushing a watermelon single-handedly. Rosina Selden, Squad 7 Lancer, age 24. A sort of older sister figure to many Sevens, her teammates affectionately call her Lady Rose. She enjoys working out when off-duty. With must-have muscle as her personal mantra, she views the generally slender Darkson race as inferior. Back home, she founded a fitness center. The set of novel bodybuilding techniques she developed there earned her the title of Princess of the Muscle World. Yoko Martins, Squad 7 Lancer, age 37. She ran a well-loved Randgrease eatery until donating all the food in her larder to refugees one day and joining the militia. Largo's resemblance to her ex-husband causes her to avoid him as she searches elsewhere for a man to act as a father to her one son. The war's end saw the reopening of her shop, where she later met and married a regular 10 years her junior and bore twins. The whole family now helps cook. Elise Moore, Squad 7 Lancer, age 17. She was raised by her father, a fencing instructor to the nobility, who recommended she enlist as a way to harden her psyche. Generally laid back, it often takes her a while to build up steam. Once she gets going, however, she has the tendency and staying power to master nearly anything. Granted a post in Princess Cordelia's Royal Guard in light of her successes on the battlefield in EW2, she now spends her days guarding Castle Randgrease. So she basically has the Regigigas slow start ability. Problem is, by turn 5, if you haven't already finished the battle, you have not gotten the A rank, so best to use a different Lancer. Newt Young, Squad 7 Engineer, age 38. An unwavering believer in money over all things, he joined up with Squad 7 after deciding Welkin smelled like a golden goose. A discerning eye for profit and abundant luck has seen him through life thus far. When enlisting, he chose engineering duty as a way to control the supply chain. After opening Gallia's first casino in downtown Randgrease to wild profit, he set off for the Federation in search of new sources of capital. You have to enter the command center where you put people into your squad while having $1 million in your inventory for him to show up. I highly dislike him. He is, however, the best engineer, statistically. Herbert Nielsen, Squad 7 Engineer, age 18. Born in an arid region where the weather dictates Wednesday, he grew to avoid any energy expenditures he possibly could. Utterly capricious, he refuses to lift a finger when unmotivated. He began riding horseback to save himself the effort of walking and has become quite skilled. Though a completely accidental discovery of a Ragnite load made him an overnight millionaire, he couldn't be bothered to spend it, so he gave it to his brother. Carl Lanzat, Squad 7 Engineer, age 23. He worked at a Fosen ironworks until the incursion of Imperial Darkson hunters drove him to evacuate to the capital. Meek to the point of being paralyzed in the face of danger, he nevertheless chose to join the militia in hopes of a peaceful future with his lover. After marrying his Darkson lover, Lynn, the two have had many children and are in the process of living happily ever after. Homer Perrin, Squad 7 Engineer, age 15. A sensitive soul dwells within the angelic exterior of this young boy who volunteered for service despite his frail constitution. Pain and misfortune yield blissful joy for this twisted cherub, a trait that likely explains his choice to join the war effort. He remained in the militia, ignoring the concerns of those around him. His grace while cutting across the field, smile on his face, has been likened to a swan's. He's got the masochist trait. Squad 7 Engineer, age 15. As the product of a girls' school for the well-off, she dreams of a life surrounded by flowers, and shuns the unrefined company of men. Quick to develop crushes on the strong women around her, she soon fell hard for Alicia, whom she proceeded to follow around like a puppy dog. Though news of Alicia's marriage struck her hard, she soon awoke to a newfound appreciation for Rosie's untamed allure and began following her around instead. Ramsey Clement, Squad 7 Engineer, age 21. Her love for tinkering with machines saw her enroll in a technical university. There she began work on developing new weapons. Often careless, the machines she works on have a tendency to break down easily. She set out to create a firearm that required no maintenance but got bored. She took a cushy job at a major weapons firm, but one too many malfunctions got her fired. Since then, she's been back to work on maintenance-free weaponry. Her hidden potential is maintenance lazy. Every single time I've tried to use her to fire a gun at point blank range at a troop, the gun has not worked. Nadine, Squad 7 engineer, age 27. A Darkson with a strong sense of responsibility and the wherewithal to fulfill it. She holds a master's degree in literature. She is fiercely protective not only of her fellow Darksons, but of anyone whom she has recognized as a friend, readily risking danger to keep them safe. She is now hard at work penning a novel, a longtime dream of hers. Her first book is an epic tale of romance, sure to warm the hearts of ladies across Europa. She's a really good engineer, actually. Claudia Mann, Squad 7 engineer, age 19. Her life as a homebody ended when a stray eggshell demolished her house. She now fights to win back that peaceful existence. Naturally cursed with terrible luck, she found nothing but trouble anytime she left home. She tried never leaving, but she soon lost even that safe haven. Feeling a strong calling to help others, she decided to become a nurse, though accidents and natural disasters kept her from reaching the exam multiple times. Again, absolutely terrible hidden potential. Emile Billiart, Squad 7 sniper, age 15. He cut short his stay at a rural sanitarium after hearing that his brother was in danger. Despite his failing health, he enlisted. Though he trusts his brother implicitly, he feels guilty for being a burden in constant need of care. His greatest wish is to be of help to Oscar. He returned to rest in the country while helping his brother study to become a doctor. The watercolors he paints on the side hang in galleries across Rangries. Okay, so Oscar goes down, you get Emile. That's it. Oscar, Squad 7 sniper, age 15. He enlisted in order to keep his sickly younger brother safe. The scar on his forehead tells of a childhood attempt to do the same. He tries to play the strong big brother to Emile, but he's actually quite timid. Terrified of thunder and mice, he always keeps his distance from the kitchen. Deciding to become a doctor in order to cure his brother, he began studying at a furious pace. Thoughts of practicing surgery on real people have him spooked. Cesare Regard, Squad 7 sniper, age 23. Always looking out for number 1, he elected to become a sniper in order to keep himself safely removed from the front lines. His home is a small village in Barius. Out of pure boredom, he once tried to scale some nearby ruins as a child and fell. He has feared heights ever since. While climbing a tree to capture a rare bird rumored to sell for thousands, he fell again. The head trauma erased both his memory and his cynical personality. Marina Wolfstein, Squad 7 sniper, age 24. An aloof beauty, she keeps all others at a distance. Her father, a skilled hunter, trained her in the art of marksmanship from childhood. Despising other people interfering with her life above all else, she prefers to be alone. Though a single glare can send him packing, Ted still tries to chat. Following in her father's footsteps, she became a hunter famed for never letting her prey escape. She now lives with a fox she found injured on the mountains. Catherine O'Hara, Squad 7 sniper, age 35. An EW1 veteran, she doesn't hesitate to enlist again to fight for her people. She holds the bond of friendship above all else. Ever since an ammo shortage left her to helplessly watch an ally get killed, she has felt extremely anxious without a loaded weapon close at hand. Tired of the ceaseless fighting of man, she chose a hermit's life deep in the mountains. She passes her days in peace, wishing for an end to war everywhere. Medic, Squad 7 medic, age 17. Responsible for securing and treating Squad 7's wounded, she is well loved for her gentle touch and selfless dedication. Actually a set of triplets named Mina, Gina, and Fina, all of whom are currently militia medics. They are often seen socializing with Vice and Aika. Stating that there were countless people the world over who needed their help, the triplets departed Gallia together with their newfound friends. Maximilian, General, age 29. Imperial Prince and commander of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Said to grant opportunities to talented subordinates regardless of social rank, he is also known to ruthlessly dispose of anyone useless to his purposes. Though born as the Crown Prince, his mother's low station precluded his rise to legitimacy within the court, and he was regulated to prince status. His habit of carrying a knife for self-protection grew into a rich collection. His private quarters now hold a display of hundreds of ornamental blades. Maximilian's ambitions for domination over all of Europa and revenge against the Empire died along with him, swallowed in the flames of the falling Marmota. Salveria Bless, Brigadier General, age 22. Member of the Triumvirate under Maximilian's direct command and a leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Undefeated since she began work as one of Maximilian's commanders, her forays into the nations around the Empire have struck with the force of a tidal wave. After being identified as a Valkyria in her early childhood, she was held at an Imperial research facility and used as a test subject in their experiments. Salveria enjoyed cooking as a meditative exercise and strove to recapture the taste of her mother's cooking that lingered within her memories. Bested at Gerlandio, she sacrificed herself to call forth the Valkyria's final flame, completely eradicating the Citadel with her. Radi Jaeger, Major General, age 36, member of the Triumvirate under Maximilian's direct command and a leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Previously a general for his homeland, the Kingdom of Thorald, until it was lost in an Imperial invasion in EW1, to which he himself also fell prisoner. Freed by Maximilian, he agreed to lend the young commander his keen eye for strategy in exchange for a promise that Thorald would be restored its autonomy. Decisive and level-headed, he ascribes to a knightly code of honor that has him show respect even to his foes. He often faces Gregor across the chessboard. He disappeared into the flames after the Gallian militia breached his defenses at the Great Vassal Bridge, never to be seen or heard from again. Berthold Gregor, Major General, age 51, member of the Triumvirate under Maximilian's direct command and a leader of the Empire's invasion of Gallia. Born into the rank of Count in a family with close ties to the Imperial court, he worships the Emperor, dedicating his life to uniting Europa under his rule. A specialist in shock and awe tactics, he uses superior numbers to annihilate the opposition. His leg was injured by Jaeger during the Thorald invasion. An avid equestrian, he frequently went on long rides before his injury. One of the stallions in his manor stables has been called the Empire's finest horse. The conclusion of the battle to liberate Fosen saw the Gallian militia drop the Aquas, an Imperial armored train, into a chasm with Gregor aboard it. Georgios Geld, Captain, age 43. Though his unparalleled cruelty often disgusted even his peers, his undeniable results soon saw him rise to command his own Imperial regiment. A sadist to the core, he experienced a euphoric high when inflicting pain upon others, a habit that only intensified as he obtained increasing authority. His torture of prisoners, including civilians, ultimately provoked the ire of Imperial Commander Maximilian, who promptly ordered him executed. Ambassador Jean Townshend. Jean Townshend? I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce the first name. Diplomat in the Federation's Foreign Ministry, age 45. Appointed to lead the diplomatic mission to Gallia at an uncommonly young age. Cordelia's kidnapping was decided upon in secret by the Federation's High Council and enacted by Townshend and a cadre of elite operatives. Though his affable demeanor suggested a temperate personality, reports describe him as a perfectionist willing to take any means necessary to achieve his aims. Ah, okay, well, I guess that was all of them. Yep. Oof, that took almost an hour. Guess I'll do weapons next time.